Hello, welcome to the Urbana Daily Digital Podcast. I am honored to have an amazing soul on the podcast today. Somebody that has become a good friend of our family and has been there to support with her organization. I am lucky to introduce Kristyn Campbell to the podcast. Welcome, Kristyn. Kristyn is with Breast Friends Forever of Champaign and Madison County. But I'd like to just start, Chris, if you just want to kind of introduce yourself and kind of what you do, and then we can kind of get into the organization a little bit and the people that you're helping.
Well, again, I'm Kristyn Campbell. I moved to Champaign County 26 years ago this month, and so far have enjoyed every year of it. Really, new wonderful people all the time. Um, what I do is normally I'm a school teacher, so that's what I do day in and day out. I teach school. Right now, I'm the media specialist for Mechanicsburg Schools, and I'm there 5 days a week, 7 hours a day plus. Then after school, I do my most favorite job of Breast Friends Forever of Champaign County. Um, I started it, what, 13? I'm trying to think. I've been involved with the breast cancer for 20 years. I am a 20-year, 6-month survivor. 20 years ago, after we moved here, found some wonderful people who just kind of wrapped their arms around me going through it. I had 3 small children at the time, kindergarten, 2nd, and 4th grade, and I know what to do. We had no family here. I'm from Cleveland. My husband's from Eastern Ohio, and so it was just all about the people that surrounded us. And so from meals, from childcare to whatever, they were here to support and to encourage my family. Somebody told me about this strange thing called Fashions to a T, and they're like, "Hey, you need to come to this." And this had to be 2005, October 2005. So I'm like, "Okay." So I'm going through treatment still. I'm still feeling kind of cruddy. And I don't think I've ever been to a more amazing event. This lady spoke, and she spoke with such tenacity and just such hope and fulfillment, and it was just an incredible thing, and about a journey of someone's life, and at the end of this journey, she rips off her wig and said, "That was about me." And I just fell in love with it at that point in time thinking, "Wow, how can somebody do that?" So, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, when I get better, when I feel a little more up to it, maybe I can get involved with this group." So, let's see, it is now 2025. So 20 years later, here I am running this organization. Um, love it, absolutely love it. We were underneath the American Cancer Society for a long time, and that's how it was founded. And after that, we decided to go on our own just so that we could serve more people in our county because we didn't know what we were doing at that time. So we became our own entity in 2013. And then in 2021, we became our own 501(c)(3). And so we've been growing steadily after that. But that's kind of a little bit of my journey of where I am and how I got here.
Yeah, you are doing an amazing job, by the way. From an outside person that, my wife, she was diagnosed with breast cancer at 38, as you well know, Chris. And I grew up here and I felt lost of what do you do? How do like, what resources are here? And people started calling and saying, "Hey, have you gotten with Breast Friends Forever and some other great local organizations?" And didn't even know where to start. And it is amazing. I look back all the time of, I didn't even know what we needed help with,
Yeah,
right?
you
At
don't.
the I was just like,
Nobody
"We just
does.
gotta get through this. We're doing what the doctor says." And we had people showing up and helping clean the house. We had people that were bringing food to us. We had people that were bringing us gas cards. All these things that just, I would have never asked for any of that. I'm the type of person that doesn't like to ask
Right.
for help. But
Most
when
people are
people
that way.
showed up, it was such a load off of my plate trying to, 5 kids at the time, trying to, like, keep everything moving, trying to make sure Erica's getting her rest, getting to her treatments. And, from my point of view, it's been super fun and awesome to watch your organization continue to grow year over year, from when we were even involved from that side, from not knowing anything to now seeing all the people that you continue to impact. And it's creating not only an organization, but a community of people, to your point, it is by far, I attend a lot of events throughout the year. It is by far my favorite event to attend. And
Thank
it's
you.
not because my wife is a breast cancer survivor. That's an extra piece of it when we do the circle at the end, and there's a lot of feelings that come out going through that. But it is watching all of these women and men that have gone through this, and they are just, they feel like they belong. They're not alone. They feel like what their feelings they have, someone else understands it. And I just applaud you so much for watching. And like I said, I've seen an huge increase over the last several years with just awareness and just, what you guys are growing in all the right ways.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned a point that kind of hit home last year. There was a local gentleman who came with his wife. They're local business owners, and he's going through cancer at the present time. And he wasn't sure if he should come or not. But when he came, he said, listening to those stories, it just met him right where he was. And it
I
doesn't
believe it.
matter what cancer you have because really
Yeah,
cancer's cancer. But he said it just hit him at home and he did not leave there without a tear because it cut him right to the core of who he was and what he was going through. And he was thankful. I mean, he was so thankful. And I thought it was kind of wonderful that when this came up for this year, he was one of the first ones that says, we're going to his wife.
that's
And she's
awesome.
like, how can I get tickets? And I'm like, you've got them. So
Awesome. That's
it is,
awesome.
it does
So
impact more than just breast cancer.
So for some that maybe don't aren't familiar with this event, can you kind of talk about the Gallery of Hope and kind of how it's evolved a little bit over the years and what to expect? Obviously, it's in October. We just had one, so if you missed it, you can have FOMO about it, right? And
Yeah,
uh, and
that's
and wish you
right.
were there, and we can try to get you involved next year. But kind of for people that maybe don't know much about it or what it is, kind of give a little bit of the history and kind of what your goals are with that event.
Okay, it originally started as the Fashion to a T, where, local people who have had breast cancer would model clothes, and we would try to use local businesses to and model their clothes and kinda support the local businesses, and as they would model, they would tell their stories, and so as they walked the runway and strut their stuff and be that hope, that light of hope for others. That's kind of how it started. And so somebody mentioned a couple years ago that they really didn't feel quite like they were a model. And so one of our committee members said, why don't we change the name because we don't serve tea anymore. It's a full out dinner. And, the fashion part is they can kinda wear what they want. We kinda make it to the theme, and so they pick what they wanna wear. Um, why don't we change it to the Gallery of Hope? Because what we're bringing is a light of hope to everybody else in our community who might know somebody who's experienced it, or they themselves are experiencing it, um, or even in the future, if they get it, they know of something, "Hey, there's these people of hope who they've survived it. They've shown that by their stories, and we wanna make sure people know that it's more of a survivor thing now than a death sentence. We want to show people there is hope in this."
Yeah, and I think one of my favorite parts is when you go through and people start raising hands of like, "Hey, who was recently diagnosed?" And you've got people that are very hesitant. They're like, "Okay, I'm here for the first time." You can tell that that's very new to them. And you go through who's survived a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you keep going. I can't remember. We were over 40 years, I think, of a survivor this year, weren't
50,
we?
51. The person who had 51, she was the starter of this of the Fashions to a T.
Yeah,
So
that's
that was the
amazing.
coolest thing right there. It was the coolest thing.
But you see what I like watching in that moment, and we were those people initially with Erica,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Have these people that are like hesitant, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just starting this journey. I don't know what to expect." And then you've got people saying, "I'm a 51-year survivor." There is no better way to give someone hope than to see that in real time. And it is, you see their demeanor change as it continues to go. And it's like, wow, this isn't a death sentence. This isn't, what I thought it was. And I that's one of the things that stand out to me, every single time when I watch that, and every year it's meaningful to me because every year we're a year further. Erica got to go
right.
past the 5 years this time, right? And that's a
Yeah.
win, and it's something to just kind of see that continue to make an impact in real time is amazing. So we're kind of dancing around, what you guys are doing, your mission, but tell us what is the actual true mission statement
All
for
right.
Best Friends Forever?
I have to read it because I was
Now
I was
you're
telling
fine.
you earlier
Yeah, word
is
for word.
Word for word, because there are 4 words that are our key words that for some reason I miss one of them every time, and I don't know why, because I wrote this, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, and I still miss one word. So our mission is to educate, empower, encourage, and embrace all those who are all those who work or reside in Champaign County or live in Madison County that are at risk for breast cancer and provide services to breast cancer patients in need. So we put reside in Madison County because there's an awful lot of people who work in Madison County, and we don't have the funds yet to be able to help everybody who works there. And so we're starting small there because we just started to get into their county as well. But anybody who
Makes sense.
works or resides in Champaign County is eligible for resources from us.
And what are some of the resources that you offer to those individuals?
One of the big things are blessing checks because sometimes when you are going through your treatment, you're not able to work. And so, there's house payments, there's electric bills, gas bills, phone bills, whatever. So we offer a one time $1,500 blessing check, which tries to help alleviate some of that stress. We also offer medical payments, such as like coinsurance or copays, I guess copays. We offer pharmacy, any pharmacy bill, we would pay for that. House cleaning, which I think you guys took advantage of that at one point, the house cleaning. Meals, we are offering a meal plan. We also have a cool thing, the Princess Warrior Telegram, to help ladies, with their, or men with their journey. Um, did I catch everything? I think so. And comfort bags. It's just a bag that we give to everybody that kind of fulfills that mission of encouraging, embracing, educating, and here I forgot the fourth one, empowering. People
They're
just
4 great words.
yes, yes, and just a bag full of things that will use those 4 E's and help them to get through a day, a week, a moment in time. Um, Especially like even mints. That sounds silly, but when you're going through chemo and you have that yucky taste in your mouth all the time, um, scarves, hats, anything that might make them feel good.
I have given that bag out to people when they were diagnosed, and it's, just to kinda get them introduced and say, "Here's a resource for you if you need anything, there's lots of information in here." And it's funny because a lot of times, they will start to go through that, and then they'll start usually not they're not asking me, they're usually asking Erica, like, "Why is this in here? Why is that in here?" And it's so funny because, like, later on, they say, "Oh, I'm so glad that I had that." Like, mints is one of those kind of things. It's just things that are in there that you don't think about needing until you need it, and people that have gone through it notate that and they're like, hey, this is something that these people are not thinking of, and it's just so great to have somebody that is thinking about those things ahead of time and taking some of that stress off as well.
Right. One of the things that I found this year that I put in there, and it's just because I remembered, is when you have a port put in, or sometimes you get PICC lines put in, and you get that stickiness from the tape or from the Band-Aids,
Yeah.
and you can't get that stuff off sometimes. So a friend of mine works for Medline, and so he got me a case of the I don't know what they're called, but to get the adhesive off, adhesive removers for your skin. So now I put those in and people are like, wow, that's great. Now I just take it and it comes off
Yeah.
immediately. So that's another thing that we just found that is very beneficial for some of our people who get
Yeah.
all that stickiness all
It
over.
seems like such a little thing, but those things matter so much in the moment.
Right, and you can't really find them in stores, and it's like you only get them from a hospital, and
Right.
so now you have some in your bag.
Yeah, no, that's great. um Talk to me a little bit about Pretty with a Purpose. This is something that I think is super cool and unique to you guys that you supply to the community as well.
Yeah, Pretty with a Purpose, like with the American Cancer Society, it's called Look Good, Feel Good. And we don't have anywhere around here that can do that right now. And so we thought, well, let's do a Pretty with a Purpose. Same concept. This we have partnered with one gal in Champaign County who gave facials this through 2025. She's retiring, and so now we're going to partner with the Salt Spa in Urbana, and we have, matter of fact, sheet here that I'm kind of excited about. I actually created it myself, which I'm really excited about because I am not a Canva person, but I think I did okay on this one. But there are 7 different services that she's gonna offer, that we will pay for. And so our breast cancer patients will get to choose one of the services throughout next year and that they'll be able to use. And it's to encourage them for health and wellness more than anything else. Because when you're going through it, you can go through depression. You're going through, like, oh, I look horrible. My hair fell out. I have no eyebrow. My skin's kind of pasty right now. Just everything that is associated with radiation or chemo. And we wanna take a little bit of that away and just say, "Hey, go make yourself feel good for the day. Here's a pampering day." So it's more like an inner wellness time. So, she's gonna offer like a salt spa experience, reflexology, massages, foot detox. She also has the floating thing, which I've never done. Um but just anything that has to do with wellness. So we have our 7 options here that we will pay for, and we pay for their tip as well, so that we don't want our clients to have to fork out any money. We wanna be able to take care of them because, as our name says, "Breast Friends Forever." We wanna be that friend forever for them.
That's amazing. And it is such a, like I said, it's those little things that add up that a lot of people don't think about when you're going through it. And unless you have gone through that process, those things matter so much, and I just think I applaud you over and over of just you guys are recognizing the small things that have a huge impact. I think a lot of times an organization goes in, and not that you're not trying to do this, they're going in and trying to make a big splash and trying to do this big thing, and a lot of times maybe those things aren't what's connecting. Like things like gas cards, things like coming, those things still matter, and those things are still great. And they were, like I said, I definitely took advantage, or our family took advantage of house cleaning. But sometimes it's those little things that is just hits them at the right time of the day. If it's the adhesive removal, if it's the, you know what, I'm just feeling down today. I need to, go up and just feel good about myself. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of,
100%.
Eric and I talked about this a lot. There's a lot of self dignity that you, lose through that process naturally, and you kind of feel unhuman. It's something that I had, I could never imagine, but Erica would share after appointments, and I'd be right there beside her, and she's like, I'm just exposing myself to everybody. Everyone's looking at this, and I'm just a science project or whatever it is that you start to go through mentally. You go into those deep space, and it's like those little things make such a huge impact. And I just applaud. It just shows that your organization understands what this journey is like, and you are truly trying to make those connections with people in a way that is going to impact and make a positive impact in their life on their journey.
Right, right. I remember looking in the mirror at one point, hair gone, eyebrows gone, pasty skin, and I'm like, What is this?" And you
Yeah,
just look in the mirror, and I remember those things, and I never want anybody to feel like that, and anything we can do to show people it's okay. It's an exterior for a moment in time. It's a hiccup, if you will, for it's a bump in the road. You will get past it. We will help you get past it. Here, take advantage of this. Go make yourself feel good for the day. So you're
yeah,
100% right.
and
We gotta get
I
Erica
think
in to
yeah.
do this.
I think one of the other unique things too is that you've got a wonderful committee of a lot of survivors that have, I think that's what helps feed this, is that you've got a great support system around you in this organization that are all people that have been through this and one way or another, or people that have really they understand it, right? And so talk to me a little bit about, your committee and kind of what all they do to kind of help you figure all this out.
Well, our committee probably has over 50 years of breast cancer amongst all of us experience, which is good because we all come from a different perspective, a different idea. And then we come together and we share those ideas of even how we felt so that we can try to get everybody. Because, I may have felt one way versus the next person felt a different way about a different time or a different procedure that they had versus another person feeling a different way. And so we take all those ways and we kind of merge them together so that we can encompass everybody in our community. So that's kind of nice. I mean, I always tell our committee that we are an eclectic group of ladies. We come from different backgrounds, different races, different political backgrounds, if you will. We've come from every spectrum, but we come together and we truly make this organization what it is because we focus on each individual person and what they might be going through. So, and I think that's what's nice about our group is all the different perspectives because we do try to make sure everybody is included,
Yeah.
which is nice.
So if somebody is recently diagnosed or somebody has a family member or a close friend that they know has been diagnosed, what is the best way to get them in contact with you to learn about some resources or maybe take advantage of some of those?
One thing is go to our website, breastfriendsforeverofcc.org, and there is a fill out a form that you can fill out and it'll go right to my email and then I will connect you with our patient advocate. Um, and so that's the best way to do it. Word of mouth seems to be, "Hey, do you know so and so?" Yes, that's how we seem to get clients. I also give out my phone number, so I don't know if that's appropriate to do right now, but
We'll say
at
leave it
the
on the
end.
form for now.
Okay,
And if you need
yes.
to get a hold of Chris, you can reach out to me or to the organization. We'll get a phone number to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true. Just um the only thing I try to mention to people when they get mad at me is I don't answer the phone till after 2:30 because that's when I get out of school. So, other than that, I usually have the phone right next to me and I take everybody's phone calls. And then I just put them where we need to put them. But that's the best way really is to fill out the form online.
And then if there's a business or somebody that wants to be able to give to your organization through donations or through I know you guys are always looking for auction items, things like that. What's the best way to approach that as well?
I guess our website again. I guess and I will have now that you said that, I will put that out to you guys to put another form out there so that if anybody wants to donate throughout the year. There's also a donate button as well that goes directly to PayPal that is through our charity fund. And so we get all those donations at the end of the month. And what's nice about the charity fund is they do not take out any fees. So, and that's one thing I like about that charity. The only thing that I kind of get sad about that is they don't put names on it. And I don't know how or why they don't do that. And I don't know if it's the individual person that does it because we would love to thank whoever because we're so appreciative. We are 100% donor funded. I probably should mention that. 100% donor funded. So everything that we take in, 95% of it goes back into the community for
That's amazing.
our people. The 5% is advertising. Um, we do pay our treasurer because if it wasn't for her, nobody would get paid because everybody works. And I think those are the two biggest things is advertising and that, but taxes, like we still have to do taxes and those, even though you're a 501(c)(3), you're still required by the state and federal government to do the certain things. So that's our 5% that we take care of. But 95% does go back to the community.
No, very cool. Um, is there anything that we missed? We just talked about a lot of different things
I
and a
know.
lot of different impact that you
Well,
guys are making. You guys have so much going on. I'm always worried we're missing something.
I
Is
know.
there anything we feel like we missed?
I don't know if I went into detail about the Telegram, our Princess Warrior
Yeah, go
Telegram.
ahead. Yeah, share more on that.
So as the Princess Warriors, we try to communicate with each other. So if you're experiencing something, you just put out there what you're experiencing, and somebody else will text you back and say, "Hey, yes, I experienced this. This is what I did." And it's really helpful because it is one member to one member. It's not really medical advice. It's just practical care that one person has taken that has helped alleviate that symptom or that side effect. So we just try to help each other out. And it's just nice, even, good morning, Princess Warriors. A lot of times they'll do that and everybody just says good morning. It's a new day. Hallelujah. Let's start the day off right. We are blessed by, and people add their blessings to it. So it's just a good camaraderie of our Princess Warriors. And again, it's male and female because we do have some local people, men who have had breast cancer. And so we have helped them just as much as any woman that has had it.
And I'm sure that, like, even in that group, there's so many things that come up even outside of medical, like, hey, like, does anyone have a solution for, I remember Erica had a special pillow that she had found that
Yeah,
somebody she would have never known existed. It was somebody else that had had breast cancer that said, "Hey, this would be something that would be super helpful when you go through this part of your treatment," or just different pieces like that too. There's just so much knowledge that gets built up. Like you said, you've got these people that have been through it, and they have learned so much, unfortunately, but also fortunate for the next of that. There's a lot of information that can be shared that can make that experience better for the person that's going through it now.
right, absolutely, absolutely. It's been a really good lifeline for some of our ladies because a lot of times when you're going through it, you don't wanna be out and about because of germs and your immune system is, um
Compromised.
yes, compromised, and so, being on the online chat, you can ask people questions or you can be involved in a way that's not gonna compromise your health, and you have
Yeah.
talking and camaraderie, so it's been a great that's probably been an amazing thing that we have done. There has to be over 70 people now on that line, and it's all local people,
Wow.
which is
No, that
amazing.
I didn't even think about the side of people not wanting to be out and about. Like, I think about Erica's always getting questions or different things from different people, and she's doing her own one version of that to be able to take that group together and be able to bring all of that knowledge together. And yeah, like you said, that person may be feeling crummy and they're just laying in bed today and they have this question, they can shoot it out there and have real people respond back that have been through it. That's such a genius idea.
Yeah, it's wonderful. One of our members just said, "I need to get this done." And so I'm like, "Go for it." So, Linda Lensman, she just took it on herself and she did this and it's been amazing. So, by the way, Linda Lensman, she is our Champaign County client advocate. She does a fabulous job. So, if I get the referral, I usually give that referral to her and then she makes that connection. She gives you your comfort bag. She goes through the different avenues you can do to get money. She makes sure you sign up with the Champaign County Cancer Association as well as ours so that you're benefiting from both of them. We make sure that you have whatever you need um, through her. And then we also have Jenny Biddle, who is our Madison County client advocate, and she does the exact same thing through Madison County. So, two great ladies who really keep us going.
Yeah. No, you and your team and everyone over there, like I said, it is all serving out of your hearts and that it just bleeds through and you when you're on the other side of it, I can't tell you enough how much you feel that. And I think that is what makes your organization so special, is that everything that you do is in the thought of how do I make this better for people that are struggling with something that a majority of the people that are supporting you have unfortunately had experience with. And I hope that obviously, I hope that this reduces for men and women, in the future, and that there's some cures that come from that. But until then, it takes organizations like yours to make it a little bit easier on a day to day basis. And so, Chris, I thank you for everything that you do at Breast Friends Forever. I thank you for hopping on this podcast and sharing a little bit of your story and what you're doing to make that impact. And if there's anything that I can do, I always tell you that please don't ever hesitate to reach out, because this is something that is obviously near and dear to my heart personally, but it's also just even if I was never affected by it, I would want to support your organization. Just hearing all the positives that you bring to our community on a daily basis. So thank you.
It, it's amazing. And we always end our evening with That's What Friends Are For. I think it's by Dionne Warwick, Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder. And and that's exactly what our whole organization encompass. We are there for everybody. So no matter what time of year it is, that's what friends are for. We are there for them. And it it really does bring a tear to my eye every time we do that friendship circle at the end because it encompasses who we are. I care deeply about every person in Champaign County, especially those going through this bump in the road of cancer. So if we can do anything to help, that's our goal.
Yep, I love it.
Anything.
Well said. Thank you again, Chris.
Thanks.